2 years ago, I used to be ambitious but lazy. I was stuck in bad habits. I could never hit any goal that I set. But fast forward to today, I've broke all my bad habits. I'm living my dream routine and I'm hitting goal after goal, alhamdulillah. So I'm going to walk you through what I did to stop being lazy and what you can do to beat laziness. And I'm about to say something that may or may not trigger you. And you're probably going to think, oh, you're just copying Andrew Tate, whatever. But laziness does not exist. What does exist are unseen barriers to action. So by default, we are all people who take action. But there are things that are getting in the way that you may not see that are preventing you from taking the action that you want. If you've ever watched Kung Fu Panda, you have Tai Lun, the villain. The scene where he's in prison, he's literally chained to the walls because he's the bad guy. He's dangerous to society if he's let go. But you are exactly like Tai Lun, more than you can ever realize. You have chains that are stopping you from unleashing your potential. Your chains, they're not real chains, obviously, but your chains could be social media. Your chains could be video games or drugs, whatever it is. Your nefs is enslaved to these things. You're mentally enslaved to these things. And it's the more chains that you have, the more you're suppressing the dangerous version of you, the more you're suppressing the ambitious version of you. That's why I'm saying laziness does not exist. What does exist are the invisible chains that are stopping you from taking action. What does exist are the unseen barriers to action. And I'm not just making this up. There's a study to confirm this, and I'll leave the link to the study in the description below. And I'll give you a personal story that confirmed this to be 100% true. For years, I was stuck doing the bad habits: FIFA, YouTube, eating chocolate, delaying homework, you name it. On the outside, it would seem that I'm super lazy. And I thought I was super lazy myself. And I used to self sabotage myself so much, it's actually insane. But when I took a moment to realize what I was feeling in the moment, instead of just numbing the pain with all these bad habits, what I found out about myself was how much of a loser I was. Now, it was nothing new, but this is just what I was feeling, but I used to numb it. So when I actually took a moment to realize why I was feeling this, like how unworthy I was, how much of a failure I was, but I realized it wasn't because of my bad habits, but I was using my bad habits to escape these thoughts. And for years, this is how I was actually feeling. This is what I was trying to escape in the very beginning. There was something I watched recently, and it was this man in Rome, and he was in front of the Colosseum, however you say it. But he said that the Roman Empire said that if you want to control people, give them entertainment and food, and they will lose their ability to think. So when I think back to when I was a lazy person who never used to take any action, and what the transition was to become a person who takes action, when I think back to it, it was like cut off entertainment and junk food for a while. And I'm talking like 30, 40 days. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that for 30 or 40 days, but that's just what I did, right? Because I realized when I sacrificed those things, I regained my ability to think, right? I was out of the cycle of being overstimulated. You know the feeling of like brain fog. You can barely think. Everything's boring. You just lose. You don't have the ability to think for yourself. You're just on autopilot like 24/7. It's so annoying. Alhamdulillah, I realized when I regained my ability to think, when I wasn't so overstimulated, I was escaping my feelings of not being good enough, right? That was my unseen barrier. And when I seen it, I just focused on tackling that and fixing that problem. So that's literally my process. Now you might be annoyed because you think that you have to give up something that you want, but don't you want to beat laziness? Isn't that more annoying than wanting just social media? Every time you choose to go on social media or play video games, what you're saying is you don't want to beat laziness. And I'll end with this: people do not choose to fail or disappoint themselves or people around them. No one wants to feel unworthy. No one wants to feel incapable or lethargic or like a disappointment. But if you look at a person's inaction and you only see laziness, you are missing key details. There is always an explanation. There are always barriers. And just because you can't see them or you don't view them as legitimate, it doesn't mean they're not there. You have to look harder. Because the difference between lazy people and high performers isn't their level of ambition, it's how fast they can solve problems. And what you've been doing is escaping your problems. So I'm going to leave you with this. What's your unseen barrier to action? Because once you know, the most productive thing that you can do is focus on fixing that. That's it for today. Assalamu alaikum.